Welcome back! This is What If Deku Was Betrayed had the Eclipse Quirk, the power to control shadows and light. This is going to be hell of a ride, so like and sub if you haven't already. We post such stories every single day. Now let's dive right in. I was so sure I died. There was no way I survived it. And yet here I was alive again. It felt surreal too. It couldn't just be a bad dream at all. All the torture and then the sweet relief of death. I never regretted anything in my life more than being dragged to be a traitor. I never wished for it, never wanted it, and never would have dreamed on becoming a villain. As if everything I encountered so far was just a bad dream. I jolted up in the middle of the night, heavily breathing and still feeling the pain from being burned alive due to one of Bakugo's attacks. It felt so very real, but it was dark in the room, and I was sitting in my bed, and there was no Bakugo. How? I thought, what? How? Huh? I am sure I died by the hands of Bakugo. Why am I back in my room? Wait, this room. That's... No. No. It can't be. No. That's not a part of the UA dorms. That's my room. No. Okay, think. What happened? I clearly remember Bakugo killing me. Flashback brought to you by a bunny that is complete confused what is happening. Bakugo, you motherfucking villain are not supposed to be here. Me. But Kakin, I made it here myself with my own power, and I never chose to be one. Bakugo. And this is as far as you feel go, stupid Deku. Me. Kakin don't. It was all thanks to this exercise we were doing after the USJ incident that it all came to this. Me and Bakugo were paired together to spare with each other. I didn't quite get why they would put us together since Bakugo was really about to kill me, and he didn't show any mercy to me while fighting at all. Though I had a quirk given to me from AFO, I refused to use it very often. There was also the fact that my own quirk was useless. I would rather rely on my wits and agility to win this fight than use the offensive quirk AFO gave me. However, the moment the fight began, Bakugo pinned me down to the ground and screamed at me that I was a villain. Oh, how right he was? I really was one, though I didn't have much choice. It was either that or my mother would have killed me. It was only for a short moment when everything was getting extremely hot and blinding bright. Just a second and I was getting more than third-degree burns. He had all pulled the trigger of his gauntlets and directed the hit directly to me. I felt my skin burn and I could smell my burned flesh. I tried to scream, but I couldn't even get any word out. I did deserve this fate. It was me who gave the LOV the informations about USJ and All Might, and even Bakugo being his protege. I knew everything, and I was the one that gave them the informations. My other was AFO's wife. How couldn't I give them the information if my own life was on the line? I did so much for them, and I was always threatened. I did so many bad things, though I never killed a single person. The worst part was that everything I did was only because my mother knew what a bright mind I had. She knew about my analytical skills and everything. She used me to the fullest. It was only when I was about to die that I finally realized that she never loved me in the first place. All I was a pawn in her hand for AFO to use as he pleased. I wish I could turn back time. I regret nothing I did since it was necessary for me to survive. But if I could change one thing, maybe my life wouldn't have ended this way. Maybe, just maybe, someone would have saved me or my mouther would have abandoned me. Well, now it's too late anyways. I should thank Bakugo for at least ending my life. I couldn't have stand the thought of making the LOV kill them all. I am sorry for being the traitor. I closed my eyes as a smile placed itself on my face. A tear was running down my cheek as I was thinking about what a relief death is to me. No more bad things I could do. No more plans for the LOV that would kill people. No more anything. Bakugo, the fuck you smiling about, villain? Aizawa, problem child. Don't give up yet. I didn't quite get when or what was happening around me, but apparently Aizawa and All Might were there. All Might, didn't I tell you not to attack him like this, my boy? Bakugo, fucking why? He's a villain, Aizawa. Even so, we still don't know his reasons or who is behind everything. So they knew. Never really hid the fact anyways. I never wanted this. I am so sorry. All Might, if he doesn't make it, then my boy, do you realize that you just killed someone? Bakugo, he will fucking make it. Aizawa, look at him and tell me that again. Bakugo, All Might. I was getting sleepier and I was far beyond the point where I would feel the pain of my body. Everything felt numb, and my only thought was that I still needed to apologize to them. Aizawa, Midoriya, don't fall, all see problem child. Me. I cough, I'm sorry. Aizawa, don't say anything. Preserve your energy. That was all I managed to say. For the first time in my life, I saw terror in Aizawa's face. This was really my end. I only wished I wouldn't have worried him out of all people here. End of flashback brought to you by a mourning panda with a dead burn bunny in front of him. I am sure I died. I definitely died back then. Sue, how did I end up here then? I was still out of breath, but one thing was for sure, something was wrong. Looking at my digital watch, I could see the date and the time. It was 3 a.m. in the morning 6 years before I started going to UA, and it was also the year when my mother finally found my hero analysis books for the future. Nothing horrible happened until now. My mom was ignoring me, and people bully me for my weak quirk, but that was all I could remember from these days when I was 10 years old. It was impossible that this was true, and so I jumped out of my bed and went to the mirror on the wall. Me? Impossible. If I really got thrown back in time, then I can stop everything from happening. Though why was I even sent back? Was it just me or someone else too? Is it perhaps a quirk AFO tried to give me and failed? That's not important right now. I can need a plan to survive and help the heroes. Even if Bakugo didn't kill me back then, the moment I would get home, my mother would have killed me because they found out about me. Okay, first things first, I need some more sleep. This migraine is killing me. The next morning when I woke up, I started looking around and confirmed which time it was, and I was indeed sent back in time. Why this was done was a huge mystery to me, but I was thankful since I could prevent it. Besides that, I didn't like staying and thinking about the why at all. It was useless. So last night wasn't just bad dream at all. I do remember my Ost life. Now question is, did I see the future? Or did someone send my soul back in time? It doesn't matter at all. They gave me a chance to make my mistakes right again. I have to take this chance. First off, let's start with destroying all my notebooks. I took my notebooks out and also a bin that I had in my room since I always used to write so much and then just throw the idea away and start everything anew on a new paper. It made my mom crazy since I was wasting money and everything. Now that I gathered everything, all I needed was a lighter, which wasn't hard to get since my mom was a smoker. The real problem was in burning these papers here. I first wanted to just toss everything and start a fire, but on second thought, a fire in my room wouldn't be the best at all. Inko, Izuku, and here she is. Oh, how I hate the sound of her voice. I need to get away from here as fast as possible. For now, just acting out of my mind should be enough. Misai, better hide these properly for now. I will get them out later and destroy them once and for all. First, I need to avoid going out with my mother. I opened the door very enthusiastically and jumped out running towards my mom and walking barefoot over all the broken glass pieces of bottles around me. Am I beautiful? Look, now since I knew I would never address my mom as mom ever in my life for a good reason, I did just that and started twirling all around us. Inko, are you out of your goddamn mind, bastard? I wasn't. In fact, I never felt this sober before. I knew what my fate was if I was to follow my mom's words and go with her. I still remember why she called me down. It was one of the first meetings with the LOV. In this case, it was with the doctor who was about to get some blood samples and then try to find out if I was useful as an experiment or not. I had to stop this by all costs, no matter what. Instead of stopping like my mother was warning me with her voice, I decided to smile and giggle. There was also a balcony we had. Now what better way to get some good attention from everyone if not for the fact that someone was on a balcony and a kid on top of that? Me? I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I knew how to sing for a little bit and used that to my advantage as I started to jump all around the apartment and then to the balcony. All the while I was carefully looking at my mother who was fuming. I saw her use her skill to throw some stuff at me, which I was avoiding while ridiculously twirling around. At this point, I was even getting dizzy because of it. Inko bastard. Get down there? Me. But look on, I can fly. I still smiled at her. However, my eyes were telling a whole other story. I knew that she wasn't able to pick up on something like this, but still I should have my emotion under control. But I couldn't. How could anyone if they knew what she would do today? Flashback brought to you by a green bunny dancing around and a Paythair miraculous walking the same street down. Me. Ma'am, where are we? Inko. Shut up, bastard. Me. Sorry, mom. I just wanted to know where I was following me, mom, since we at one point just went to an abandoned part of the city which was off-limited to citizens for a good reason. There were a lot of bad guys around here, and now she was basically dragging me to who knows where. I knew that my mother wasn't the best person, but she was still my mother, and I was blood related to her. She was everything I had in terms of family, and no matter what she did, I still love her. It wasn't long, and we arrived in front of a very shady and rundown building. I had a very ominous feeling when I saw it, and I didn't like the fact that we were about to get inside, since every fiber in my body was telling me to get away. Still, I refused and followed my mom, trusting her completely. She led me to a room in the basement, which was, by the way, the only room that had electricity. Me, ma'am. Inko. Shut up. Blood was covering the floor as we got closer to the room, and I was dreading the moment when we got in there. The heavy metallic smell of blood made me feel like throwing up, but I knew better than doing that since my mother would have killed me, or more like started to beat me up if I would do this. I knew it since I did this once to a place she brought me with her and almost gauged at my own vomit too. She started to kick me and everything until I would start sobbing and beg her to stop. At that point, I was also tasting my own blood in my mouth, and it was also the last time I did that. Not soon after we arrived at the basement, we also went inside that room. It looked like a hospital room with so many medical things inside, but that wasn't bother me. What did bother me was the bleach I could smell mixed with the blood in the air. Inko, sit down there. Me? Yes, ma'am. I wasn't allowed to call my mother mom at all. She told me I was a disgrace to her, and I would be rude to do that. Needless to say that I believed her. I was nothing after all, and nearly quirkless on top of that. My quirk was after all as good as having no quirk at all. I knew better than anyone else that I was the bottom of the line. There was nothing worse than being quirkless. Still, I was happy I was alive from what I could hear how they were treated. My treatment wasn't the best, but still I was alive. Doctor, is that the boy? Inko, if you mean my bastard of a son, then yes. Doctor, I will be careful not to break him. Inko, no need for that. After that, they made me lay down and start me down to the table too. End of flashback, brought to you by a panther seeing the bunny and dashing, as well as readying catch the little bunny. I wasn't dumb at all. I still remember the pain and everything that happened in that room. It was horrible. They did so many experiments on me. Though they were all light in terms of what would happen to me afterward, they still were painful since I had zero pain tolerance at that time. Me? Am I not a beautiful fairy mom? Inko, get the fuck down there, you damn bastard. I was still on the balcony and on the railing at that, smiling at my mother while I was tiptoeing around. It sure felt nice playing this roles as a crazy and mentally insane person. Aizawa's POV. Why did I need to run out of cat food? Better question. Why does gluttony need to eat so much? Even sloth is not such a heavy eater. And that heavy eater is a bitch as well, never letting me to pet her if not for food. I need to bribe my cat to touch her. At least Sloth is a nice cat. I was just gonna buy some cat food since I ran out of it, but never did I expect it to walk down a street and then hear some angry shouting. Normally I would ignore it, but this time I could hear a lot of people all around me whispering something along the line. Look there on the balcony. Me sigh. Why can't people be silent? Why need there to be something when I am walking here? I am too tired for this. I never saw anything. No one even knows that I am a hero anyways. Better to just go my way. It's not as if Somoine is about to die. As I was thinking that, I looked up despite thinking I should just ignore everything and just go ahead to get that cat food for my angry cat. I loved and hated that cat, but that's how a cat owner is. I mean, I did have two, and one was such a lovely cat while the other one was just a bitch. Random person. OH my god. Random person. There is a kid on a balcony. Random person. Is he insane? That kid will fall down. That made me look up and see that there was indeed a kid tiptoeing on the fence of the balcony. If that wasn't normal enough, he was twirling around on it and he looked somewhat happy too. Then all of the sudden screams could be hears such as bastard. Just seeing that kid made some red flags pop up in my mind. There were so many questions I had in my mind just seeing something like this. It wasn't normal, nor was it something you see every day. And it was my day off too. Was he being forced to do that? What if he was injured? What if? Though I had a lot of questions, there wasn't much time, and from the look of it, he was about to jump down from there too. I couldn't have that. I saw a kid jump over rude in front of me. There was this one time I froze and missed to save the kid. The sight of it alone was so gruesome that I vowed to myself never to let a kid that I could have saved from such a fate do it ever again. Me sigh. And here goes my calm shopping trip. Not as if I liked going out to buy cat food anyways. Too noisy and too much people. Still, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Are you stupid, kid? Do you even know how dangerous that is? You can die. The moment I realized how bad it looked and how reckless that kid was on the balcony, I started running towards the building. While I was sprinting, I evaded so many people who were lost in their own world watching what was happening. It was the typical watch and don't act effect. They would rather watch thinking someone else called for help than act themselves. Luckily, I was there to act for them. Once I was close enough, I decided to use my capture gear as a heel-ping tool to scale the building, and thankfully he was only on the second floor of the building, so it wasn't hard to get to him. Misai, kid, whispering Aizawa-sensei. It was barely hearable, but I was sure the kid just said my name the moment I landed on the balcony and grabbed him, forcing him to land on the balcony and stop tiptoeing on the railing of it. He could fall for his death, and I didn't need to witness another death like that. Does this kid know me? I don't think we know each other. I'm sure he said my name though. I never exposed my name to anyone beside my students. He can't know it. Did I ever save him before? And even then he should only know my hero name? Who is this kid? Why does he know my name? Kid. Ha ha. Before I could even ask the kid how he knew my name, he started laughing, and the way he looked at me was somewhat disturbing. He was smiling genuinely and laughing as if I just told him the joke of the year. However, the look in his eyes were emotionless and calculative. They were even glittering dangerously. In all my years of being a pro hero, I never seen such a look in a kid's face at all. It worried me. Me, kid? You damn bastard. See what you done now. So I thank you, sir, for getting him off there. I could only rise an eyebrow the moment I heard her outburst at him. She also clearly didn't know who I was. Normally people don't recognize me, so I was used to it, but this reaction was still somewhat not normal. Kid. But wasn't I a pretty fairy? That was the moment I realized what was wrong with his eyes. When I saved him, the kid had red-colored eyes, and when he saw me, they changed to a yellowish green. Now he had deep red eyes that were close to black. The kid quirk was so visible. His eye color were changing depending on his emotions. I knew he looked emotionless, but for a split second, there was relief written all over his face when he whispered my name. Now I knew why there was also no emotions visible in his eyes at all. The colors were telling me them. I see. A weak quirk? Are you mistreated because of that? Is that your mother or a babysitter? Why are you acting like this? I am sure you are not crazy, just based on the look you gave me a moment ago. Was I mistaken? Me? Excuse, are you the kid's mother? Mother? Yes, I am. Just one look behind them, and I could see the many glasses of alcohol all over the floor. I could also see and smell some blood on the floor. It looked like some footprints. Did he walk over this glass? Or did she make him walk over it? No matter what, these are clear signs of child abuse. I should get him away from here. I knew I wouldn't be able to forgive myself ever if I would let the kid stay in the same environment he is right now, and so I decided to use the power I had as a pro hero. Normally, it wasn't me who saves children like that at all. If we were speaking of normally, I would also only be out at night and not in the daylight if not for teaching some kids. Then again, I was saving mostly suicidal kids from a rooftop and also took out some villains as well as get some underground villains in check. However, that doesn't mean I didn't know how bad it was living in an abusive household. Me? Kid? Are you abused for your quirk? Mother? What are you talking about? This kid is quirkless. Quirkless? How can you say he is quirkless when his eye colors were changing depending on the situation, which means they are connected to his well-being and his emotions? Maybe she never realized it. Is he a late bloomer? Misai. I can't believe I said his name out loud. He surely didn't hear me right. I mean, he didn't, right? He couldn't possibly, right? Oh, who am I kidding? He heard me for sure. What's up with him knowing about my quirk, though? I mean, it's not obvious one, and as far as I remember, my eye colors always stayed red, because I always used to be so scared all the time. Wait a moment. I felt relived and happy when he just landed on the balcony in front of me. God, what was I thinking? This is bad. No matter how happy I am, I can't have my hopes high here. I also can't let him find out about me faking being this crazy. He would be the first person to find out for sure. Okay, I need to act quickly. How about playing even more dumb? Why does playing crazy feel this good? It's also so much fun. God. What's wrong with me? Inko. Now can you please leave? I decided the best thing to do here was ignore everyone and start dancing around like a little girl though I was a boy. And this was certainly not a behave I should show, but it was perfect for acting just plain childish and out of my mind. As if that wasn't enough, I started humming some music to mood dancing too. It was Bunny Bunny Bunny, you're so funny. Still, it was a nice melody. So I began humming it to the best I could and smile as brightly as ever. I was sure that my eyes were still red since I feared what would happen when my mother would find out about me not being quirkless. The fear was way too big for me to just ignore it. I dreaded what would happen when Eraserhead, my old sensei, would leave me be alone with her. I was scared of knowing where we would go, and I would rather jump and end my life than go through what I went through again. After all, if not for me, then the LOV wouldn't have a strategist at all. Still, I couldn't just simply lose my life like that. I had a second chance. I was sure I would use this second chance to redeem what I did wrong in my previous life. I would make sure that this future wouldn't end up like that at all. The only thing that was actually good about me being with the LOV was that I knew a lot about them, from their own personality to their quirks and drawbacks, and even fighting style. I knew everything there was to know. Inko. Sigh, if you excuse myself. Fucking stop with that nonsense, you bastard. As I was dancing around, I felt pain all over my feet. It was worse than Lego, since I was actually walking over shards, and it was making some cracking sound as I was walking and twirling and dancing over them. Aizawa. Bastard? Inko. Yes, this kid is making me go crazy. I swear if it is not for the greater good, I would have killed him immediately. Another cracking sound could be heard, and I could feel Eraserhead's eyes on me, and all of a sudden, I was wrapped in his capture scarf and pulled right into his hands. It all went way too far for me to proceed what just happened, especially with all the twirling around I did. I was just feeling dizzy right now, and it was hard to focus on anything else than not to just throw up. Inko. What the hell are you doing? Aizawa. I am taking the kid with me. Inko. And who do you think you are? Aizawa sigh. Me. Look, the demon is all angry now, Mom. Did I call Aizawa a demon? Yes, I did. He used his quirk on my mother right now, and I still wanted to at least be accounted as mentally insane or just handicapped, which means that my mental capacity shouldn't be that good and perhaps more childish. Aizawa. Sigh, kid. What's your name? Me. If I tell a demon my name, then he would surely eat me alive. I refuse. I'm not yummy at all. Aizawa was looking me from top to bottom, and I saw his sharp gaze and couldn't help but feel less anxious. I knew that my eye color must have started to change in colors. Red was the color of fear. Black was anger. Yellow was relief. Green was emotionless. Gold was happiness. White was jealousy. Orange was surprise. Blue was disgust. Violet was pain. Gray was sadness. In short, my quirk was a traitor for myself. I could never hide my emotions from anyone at all. Aizawa. Yellow and violet. Oh wait, shit. Are my eye color yellow? I swear, my quirk is the biggest traitor. All of a sudden, he picked me up from the ground, and I let out a surprise scream. It was way too sudden, and I was still wrapped up in his scarf too. Inko. Fucking put my bastard of a son down. Aizawa. I am pro-hero Eraserhead, and I am taking him with me. You will soon get a letter. That was all he said before turning around with me and jumping down from the balcony. Me? EP. Aizawa. It's okay, kid. Me. Sir, are you a summoner? Aizawa, huh? Me. You can turn into a demon. Aizawa. So call me by my name, kid. Me. AHM isn't calling a demon by its name bad. Aizawa. Say it. Me. But I don't know Mr. Demon's name. Aizawa. You sure? Me. MH. Aizawa. Shota Aizawa. What's yours? Me. Izuku. Izuku Midoriya. Aizawa. Gold. What does it mean? Me. Aizawa. So you don't talk much. After he landed on the ground, he immediately started speed walking to his home. I assumed it was his home since he just opened the door to a small house and put me on the couch. He didn't even bother to get the scarf off me, and I wanted to know how it felt like being a cocoon like he always used to be in class. I somehow wiggled myself off the couch and fell to the ground with a small thumb. After that, I started robbing around until 8 cats came to me. They all looked at me, and one of them just went on my back and fell asleep there while the others sat in the room and watched me rob around like a true caterpillar. It was fun. Aizawa. So what are you doing? Me. I just ignored him and continued what I was doing, robbing around in a circle. It was harder than it looked, but it was fun. Aizawa. Izuku. Me. SHH. I'm a caterpillar now. Aizawa sigh. Sloth, get off him. Sloth. Sloth? Did he just call the cat on my back sloth? Did he call his cats after the 7 deadly sins? But there are 8 here. Don't tell me one of them is Lucifer. He came over to me and put Sloth down first before getting his capture scarf away from me and untangling me before picking me up and putting me back on the couch. Aizawa. This will sting for a bit. He then started treating my wounds. Only then did I saw that there was one particular black cat sitting right next to a first aid kit. He was overseeing everything and acting pretty cool. Still, I felt as if that cat was watching me, and for some reason I felt as if that cat wanted something from me. The moment our eyes met, the cat did something I didn't expect ever a cat to do at all. Did the cat just bow to me? Nah, impossible. Maybe it just was looking down for a bit, and that's it. Yeah, that must be it. Me. Hissing in pain. Aizawa. Purple is pain. Me. Aizawa. It will be over soon. Before he could continue to clean my wound and get the rest of the shards out, this black cat attacked the hero from behind. It just pounced on him, and I could hear another chubby cat from beside him hissing, and another rather thin, long-haired white cat too. Now that I think of it, every cat was hissing besides this brown and white sprinkle cat. Aizawa. The fuck you doing, Lucifer? Lucifer. MREW. The cat was still on his back, clinging with its claw and biting at his shoulder. It took a bit for Aizawa to be even able to get the cat down from him, and it immediately jumped up and sat right in my lap. Aizawa. Damn devil. Lucifer. MREW. Aizawa. Sloth, lust, pride. Don't you guys dare. Or no food. Me. PFF. I couldn't help it but burst out laughing. It was way too funny. There were 8 cats, and every single one was hissing at him, besides 2 or 3 that were acutely on the couch pretty close to me. This was hilarious to see, and their names, Aizawa. Gold is happiness. At least someone is having fun here. These cats cowed be the death of me. They were so cute, and this scene was hilarious too. Aizawa. They seem to like you. Never did this demon let anyone near himself. You're the first one. Me, Aizawa. I now had this beautiful black cat in my lap and started petting it. Its fur was so fluffy, and it also immediately started purring. The chubby cat tried to jump up to the couch, but failed as it fell down backwards and just stayed there on the ground. Then the white cat was actually already on the leaning of the couch and came towards my shoulders, snuggling against me. In short, for me, these cats didn't look dangerous at all, but apparently from what I just witnessed, they have a different ways to deal with Aizawa. I mean, I knew from my past life that he had some cats, but not 8. Aizawa. The black demon that is purring is Lucifer. The white one, lust, and the chubby bitch here is gluttony. Me, why not cupcake or good names? Aizawa. You will find out soon enough. Me, MH. Aizawa. The orange cat is greed. The moment he said that, the same cat he just mentioned pounced at him and then jumped over to the couch and sat right next to me. It seemed very proud to have occupied the seat right next to me. Aizawa. Pride is the brown muscular one right there. Pride, bro. That cat looked very cute and fluffy. Like the rest of them, this one also came to me. I felt kind of weird having all these cats around me, but they were all so cute. Aizawa. The brown stripes is envy and the gray striped one is wrath. Out of them all, wrath is very complicated to handle. Don't make him angry, kid. Me. But he seems cute. Aizawa. I warned you. Now, then you see the sleepy cat? That spotted lazy cat right next to you is sloth. All of them are male besides lust and gluttony. Me. Huo everyone. Cat's mew. Aizawa. Did they just reply to you? Me MH. Aizawa Saihao. Is this such a mind-blowing thing? Why are you even overreacting this much? They are just cute cats. He stood up and took the first aid kit away. As he did, I tried to stand up from the couch, but let's just say Lucifer didn't want me to stand up, or any of these cats. They all immediately tackled me with a hug, and it was literally a hug. Lucifer was the first one to hug me, standing up on his back legs and demanding one. After that, it was lust, and before any of them could demand more, it was Lucifer hissing at them that made them all lay low and just be around me. Okay, I don't have anything against hugs. I mean, look at you. You are so cute and so fluffy. I love petting you. It is really nice having a cat. I wonder for how long I will stay here. Just by how he acted, I doubt he will bring me back to the hellhole I just escaped, thanks to him. I really don't want to go back. She will only use me. They will use me. I will get experienced on, and thanks to me already having a quirk, they will all fail. But the pain. I don't want to feel like dying over and over again. I don't want to beg them to kill me, cause the pain is unbearable. I don't want to be a villain. Why should I work for them? I never agreed to do. So anyways, I never had a choice. I don't want to be experimented on. I don't want to become close to a mindless Nomu. I don't want to search for all the LOV members and bring them together. Aizawa, kid. I was so lost in thoughts that I didn't even realize that he just petted the bandage on my feet. There was no denying it. I should have been able to feel it, but I was so lost in thought about the LOV in my past that I didn't even realize when he came to me or crouched in front of me. Well, it's not as if he had another choice since the cats were occupying every little space, making themselves big. Aizawa. What's on your mind, kid? Me. Cats and their fluff. Aizawa. Don't lie to me, problem child. Your eyes were red. If I am right, then red is the color of fear. Me. But look at their fluffs. I don't want to lose this feeling. Just like that, I hugged Lucifer a bit more and cuddled that big cat that surely had a demon lord's name, but such a gentle nature towards me. He let me do what I wanted and stayed still or started cuddling more. Lucifer even lift my cheek and acted all cute. Aizawa, did something posse's my cat? The teacher that I thought I knew so well was really different than how he treated us in the first lesson. He even threatened us with expulsion, and now here he was talking to me as if that was the normalest thing ever. He also knew when I didn't want to talk about it, or so it seems. Then he raised an eyebrow at the cat and immediately made the conversation have a 90-degree change towards the cat. It was a good tactic in order not to make a kid fall into any depression or even any attack. Me, Fluffy, Aizawa. Sure, kid, I couldn't help it but smile at my former teacher. He was the only one that never actually screamed at me or forced me to talk at all. Even when I was a villain, he still was the opinion that there must have been a reason for me doing it. There was a good one. I was always scared for life, though now I was kind of looking forward to spend more time with him. However, I knew that that was just wishful thinking. Aizawa, can you tell me about how you lived? Me like a prince. Aizawa, prince, huh? Me, MH. I had everything I could ask for. Did you see how elegant I was? Aizawa, robbing on the floor like a caterpillar, and you call that elegant? Me, no. I was clearly about to evolve into a beautiful butterfree. Aizawa, I don't have to know what that is. It was at that moment that I remembered something. Today was a school day, and it was still rather early in the morning. More than that, today my mother would have brought me to that doctor, but my original plans were to get my bag filled with my notebooks away before she would find it. The moment I realized that my notebooks were still there, my eyes went wide open. I knew that they were now completely red since I was dreading what would happen if she would find them. Aizawa, kid, me, can I go back now? Aizawa, kid, I will not bring you back to a woman who abused you. Me, I miss my mom. Aizawa, me, please, I want to go back. No, I don't want to go back. But I have to. For the sake of your class and UA, I have to do this. I started crying and all the cats around me somehow tried to calm me down, but to be honest, I didn't plan on stopping now since I really had to go back home. No matter what, the information inside of them were too dangerous, and I needed to find a way no matter what to return back home, even if that meant throwing a childish tantrum or try to run out of a hero's house. I know, stupid idea that was meant to fail, but I had to do something. Lucifer Mew, Lust Mew. Now I had like a white and a black cat snuggling against me, but the thing that surprised me more was Wrath jumping from beside my head from who knows where and landed in my lap and starts hissing at Aizawa. He was definitely threatening the man. It was so clear that that cat was threatening Aizawa. If he was about to say no, what would happen was on his account. Aizawa though. Izuku, do you miss your mom this much? Me? No, I hate her. She can burn in hell. I don't want to see her ever. What she did is not excusable. I want her to rot in hell. She used me so much. Aizawa, black. I couldn't help but feel rage. I was sure that my eyes were once again being little snitches, but he couldn't know what black meant, so everything was good. Aizawa, kid, you clearly are not happy about it. Why do you want to go back? Me. Mummy asterisco sobi asterisco. Aizawa, side problem child. What am I going to do with you? Wrath hiss. Pride hiss. Maru, Aizawa, so I'll take you back later. For now, you are going nowhere with these injuries. Me sob, Aizawa, so I can't believe I am doing this. He suddenly just grabbed the cats that were on my lap like Lucifer still leaning against me and Wrath and put them on the ground. Naturally, the cats didn't go down willingly at all. They put a fight on, but once they were gone from me, he pulled me into a hug and didn't let go of me until I stopped crying. However, the moment he did that, I started to cry even harder. At first I was faking it, but in his arms, I starts to cry because I was sad. It felt so nice in his arms, and until now, no one ever hugged me or cared for me at all. This felt nice, and so I cried. My emotions, the sadness that I was holding in for so long, all just bursted out of me. Aizawa, SHSHSH. It was a very kind and calming noise. I could tell he didn't mean it threatening at all. It wasn't loud too. He not only comforted me, but also started rubbing circles on my back. Aizawa, are you good now? Mia, thank you. All of a sudden, my stomach started growling, and it wasn't only stomach that growled, but also that fat, chubby cat that heard my stomach immediately reacted and started mewing loudly. Aizawa, looks like someone is hungry. Me, Aizawa, I was about to go and get cat food. How about we go together? We'll use the car this time. Lucifer Mew, Pride Mew, Wrath Mew, Pride Maru, Wrath Maru, Pride, Emery W, Wrath. HISSS, Aizawa. Enough. Lucifer Mew, Wrath Mew. Me. Sounds good. Aizawa. Okay, then let's get some. He picked me up and went out of the door and put me into the passenger seat of his car. It was only when he nearly closed the door that Wrath jumped in. Mia, by the look of it, Aizawa didn't notice the cat jumping into the car, and I was sure that this had something to do with all the mewing and hissing earlier between Pride and Wrath. However, I felt kinda happy having one of Aizawa's personal demon cats on my side, especially because we were about to go back where my deepest nightmares resides. So, I had this cat in my lap now, and Aizawa, who was still outside the car walking around to get to the driver's seat. Me, please protect me well, Wrath. Wrath, mew. Me thanks. I will need it. My mother can be pretty aggressive, and she will not let me go this easily too. I wonder what Aizawa will do. I really hope he can get me out of there. Though my bigger problems are my notebooks. How in the world will I be able to get them out of the house without anyone noticing it? My room should be filled with hero figures, and not only All Mights. Maybe I can use them as a disguise? I am so glad I stopped muttering in my past life. Flashback brought to you by a scared bunny that is chased by a Nomu. I am so sorry. Mother, stop muttering, bastard. I am so sorry. Mother. Shigaraki, my dear, can you teach him a lesson? Shigaraki, sure. It will be fun playing a game with him. No. PPLE, please. Shigaraki. To late bastard. That was all he said before coming towards me. I was still on the ground begging my mother to let me be. I needed some rest, especially after I failed a mission she gave me to do. Though I failed, I brought back quite a lot of information with me, and yet she just beat me up until I was laying on the ground in front of her and covering myself. I was trying to protect myself from all the kicks she was delivering to me. At some point, I even started begging her, but everything was futile. Nothing was helping at all. Now I had Shigaraki coming to me, and he didn't even think twice as he grabbed me by my arm. He didn't care about his quirk or that he was actually hurting me with it all. It was only a short drag, but still it hurt as my flesh started disintegrating beneath his touch. Thankfully, he only grabbed me and threw me through a portal before I realized where I was. No. PPLE, please. I can't. Not the Nomo. I did everything you asked. I tried. I couldn't have won this fight. I am weak. I am sorry. I thought that it would be all right if I only brought back the informations and not kill them. I am sorry. Please, anyone, please have mercy on me. Before I could even say anything more, I was immediately attacked by a Nomu. These creatures didn't need any kind of command for that. They knew exactly where they were, and I was thrown in the cage with one of them inside. It was this monster's territory, and I just trespassed. There was really nothing that could save me now. In a blink of an eye, I felt something grabbing my leg and breaking it. The snaping sound echoed throughout the whole room. It was a clean and open break. It hurt so much that tears came into my eyes. It was too much. I could handle the beating and everything, but this was something completely on a whole other level. Me? H. The moment I screamed out, the Noma did the same and threw me against the electric fence of this cage. Needless to say that I had 1000 W power running down my veins. It hurt, and it felt as if I was stunned. The best description for it would be hundreds of needless running through my veins as they were burning and melting. Pure pain. That was what it was. However, this was still not enough as the Noma came charging at me and grabbed my limp body and started trashing on it. It didn't take me long to beg for my own death. It hurt so much, and I was also losing enough blood. Still, it wasn't enough for me to lose my life, since we had a skilled doctor who managed to get me back to live no matter how much I asked and begged, as well as prayed for this monster to kill me. It wasn't the first, and it was certainly not the last time this monster was doing this to me. Each time was different. There was no way to brace oneself for such a kind of torture at all. If there was, I would have known it for sure by now. Asterisk end of flashback brought to you by a panther licking a bunny awake from a nightmare asterisk. Aizawa Izuku. Me? HUH? I snapped out of my memory and looked at him. He was sitting in the driver's seat, but his hand was on my shoulder. He looked very anxious to me, and I was sure that I made him panic. Wrath was still in my lap, but he was sitting on his back legs as he was leaning against my chest while licking my neck. Aizawa. Thank God you snapped out of it. Asterisk relieved exhale. Asterisk, are you okay? Mia? Aizawa. Don't lie to me. You are still shaking like a leaf, and your eyes are red. Wrath. MEW. Me. Just a bad dream, I remembered. Aizawa. Want to talk about it? Me, a monster with a beak and teeth, was after my life. It was huge and powerful. It was as powerful as All Might. Aizawa. It was just a nightmare, kid. Me whispering nightmare. Yeah, let's go with that. Aizawa. Sigh. Wrath, keep an eye on him. Wrath. MEW. He leaned forward to me and put the seatbelt on. I tried to do it, but I was still shaking a lot, and I didn't dare to touch it at all. I knew how much I was shaking, and I would rather concentrate on something else. This was why I was petting the cat in front of me and having it in my hands. Once the seatbelt was on, we started driving. At first, I thought we would go home, but for some reason, he stopped in front of a police office. I knew this office just too well. His friend Detective Sakachi was working there, and he would always deliver the bad guys to this office. The reason why I knew this was really simple. Toga let herself capture at one point, and I needed to get information to break her out of here. She was only in here for a night, but still I had to do this, and I used every piece of information I had to get that. My method was also dirty. I made the LOV capture Sakachi and kill the poor guy in front of Aizawa and his mans while me and Twice would get in from behind and get her out. I hate the thought of what I did. It was terrible, but it was nothing against what I did for them and the plan for the USJ attack or the camp attack. They were all my doings, and so many people died because of me. My hands were literally stained in blood. It wasn't the fact that I killed Somoine personally, but that people got killed thanks to my plan. Me. What are we doing here in the Knight's Castle? Aizawa. Knights? Well, they have badges on and are going after bad guys like Knights. Aizawa. I have a good friend here that I need to talk to for a bit. Can you wait here? Me, okay. That was all he said before getting out of the car. I looked at the cat, and it was really a cute cat. Thankfully, all the fluff helped me to calm down once again. Me. Thanks, Wrath. My past is the worst. Wrath Mew? Me. Would you believe me if I said I was a villain in my future? Wrath Mew? Me. I was, and I was also the reason why so many died. Though I never wanted it. I was forced to do it. Yeah, right. Who would believe me if I said something like this? I mean, I lived and I died. Then the next thing is waking up back in the past. That's not even my quirk at all. Though it could be one of the experimental quirk they gave me. I don't know. I don't care. What's important right now is to make a difference and not let the future be the same again. I think I might needed to start being a vigilante here to help out. I wonder if these cats can help me out. I would love to have a cat on my side. A partner that could warn me from things. What's up with me? I don't even know these cats, and yet I feel connected to them. A tear fell down my cheek as I said that. That was when I remembered that I was not allowed to be sad right now. I needed to act cheerful and hope that my own quirk would not give me away at all. Yes, I was scared, and so they were red, but I didn't need them to turn gray at all. Not only that, but Aizawa was already walking towards the car too. It was just about 5 minutes that he was inside, and now he was already out with a man walking beside him. I knew it was Detective Sakachi, but I felt guilty seeing him. He never deserved to die just for Toga, but it was the best and easiest way to get all the police officers out of there. I am sorry, Sakachi, for what I did in the past. Just a few minutes later, and Aizawa opened the passenger door right next to me. Detective, so this is the kid? Aizawa, yes. Detective, hello, my name is Sakachi. How is your name? Me. Izuka Midoriya, Sir Knight. Detective, Knight? Aizawa. He is a bit mentally unstable from what I can grasp. Detective, I see. You said something like this just a moment ago. Aizawa, yes. As you can see by his feet, his mother is abusing him. Detective, say, Aizu, do you mind if I tag along? Me, no. Not at all. I falshed him a huge, bright grin over, and he ruffled my head before the door was closed once again. This still didn't mean I couldn't hear them at all. I mean, they were standing right next to the car, too. Detective, is it your cat in there? Aizawa, yes. Detective, I thought they were all demons. Aizawa, they took a liking to him. Detective, you said you wanted me to get his mother behind bars? Aizawa, yes. The kid wants to go back home, but I can't let it happen with a good conscience. He was dancing on the railing of a balcony this morning. Detective, dancing? Not jumping or anything like that. Aizawa, no dancing. Huh, if you only knew. I'm not doing this to die. I never wanted to die. Not in my past, not even yet. Though I begged so many times, death was never something I really wished for. It was a last resort for me. The pain I encountered. Just death is better. Believe me, I also have my reasons to get back. Detective, Sai seems like a good boy. Aizawa, he is. Detective, for how long do you have him already? Aizawa, a couple of hours. Detective, he grew on you too. Aizawa, he did. He has this side on him that I want to protect. Detective, is this related to the 2 quirkless kids that you couldn't save? Aizawa, I don't know. Detective, well, I am happy for you to get a kid. Want me to prepare the adoption papers? Aizawa, that would be good. Detective, sure, friend. Now let's get inside. The kid is waiting for us. Though I was listening the whole time to the conversation, what they had, I played with the cat in my lap just to make it look like I wasn't paying attention to them at all. It was fun playing with Wrath, and he was a calm cat. I didn't know why everyone was referring to them as demons. I mean, sure, they have names like the 7 deadly sins, but they surely are not related to that at all. Aizawa, sigh. Detective. He sure looks happy with that cat. Aizawa, Wrath. Detective. HM? Aizawa. That's the cat's name. Detective. You called the cat Wrath, right? That's insane. Who does that? Aizawa. Got problems with that? Detective, nope. Not at all. Ha ha ha. It's so like you to do something like this. Right after he said that, I heard the door behind me open and was greeted once again from behind me by the detective. I was sure that he was about to hold a small interrogation with me. This was, after all, a good opportunity to get as much things out of me as he could. Detective, kutekat, Wrath hisses. Detective, or not. I'm not going to touch you, okay? Wrath. Emery W. Aizawa. Told you. A demon. The drive from the police office towards my own home was a rather a short one, or more like a 30 minutes one, if we wouldn't get stuck in a traffic jam, which we soon were rode off the bed. It was as if someone wanted to give the detective a bit of time to have the chance to question me out. Needless to say that I didn't like it one bit. Each minute tag was passing was not very pleasant for me, since I had to find a way to get New York notebook, then deal with these 2 idiots, as well as hide the fact that I was perfectly sane and about a couple of years mentally older stuck in a kid's body. No one would believe me, and no one would find out besides Nizu. Let's face OT that Rat will find out anything. Detective. So, Izuku. Can I call you Aizu? Me. It would be an honor, sir. Night. Detective. Aldred Jr. Hi-ha. How is the school? I was happy that I at least managed to change into my school uniform before my mother called, and I started acting like crazy. It would have been weird if I were in my pajama doing that. Now thinking about it, school uniform doesn't make it any better at all. If anything, it makes me look more insane. Just imagine a kid in school unformed dancing around like a crazy person and acting as if he was younger. Since that was my goal anyways, I could stick to it. Did you really just ask how school is? How should school be? School is school. It's a nightmare on its own. I'm just happy that I won't get eaten by books in my dreams. Like, just imagine some textbooks going after you and exam papers eating you up like a nice snack. You know, thank you. I'll pass on that one. Besides, it's filled with bullies and everything. How should school be? It's definitely not kindergarten or a fairy tale garden. It's just school. Really? What a dumb question. Me like school. Detective. Any friends? If you mean bullies, then yes. I have so many of them that I can't even count them with my fingers. I mean, just put my whole class in it. Now the whole school, and you got the numbers of how many friends I have. Me? Yup, lots of them. Detective. You know that lying is bad, right? Oh shit, I forgot he has a truth-telling quirk. Damn it, now what? How should I save myself? At this point of time, I think I did consider Bakugo as my friend, so I have one. Then let's try answering this way. Mien? Detective. Well, you just told me a lie. That is very bad. Me, I didn't. Detective? HM? Tell me, why do you think you didn't? Me. Because I have Kakin as a friend. He has a lot of friends, and his friends are also my friends. Technically, I am not wrong, though they are all bullies. Oh, but they will regret bullying me. Now, I have Aizawa on my side. Aizawa. Kakin. Is he nice? Me, yup. Oh no, not AG all. I wish that damn angry-ass Pomeranian could stop barking sometimes. Detective sigh. And again, I tapped it to a lie. I need to be more careful. Aizawa. Izuku, tell us the truth, nothing will happen. Me. But it's the truth. Aizawa. Then tell me what you guys kike to do together. Me. Play hero. Detective, a lot of kids love to play that. Aizawa. You hero or villain? Me. I don't know. Lie. I am always the villain. Though you can't say that I am a villain since I never harmed anyone, so this shouldn't be counted as... No, wait. My future past. This will count as a lie. Detective. Hero? Me. Aizawa. So you were always the villain? Me, yes. Detective, you like that role? Me, no. I hate it. Detective, why? Me. 'Cause they harm and huff people. Innocent people. But not every villain is truly evil. That was the moment I decided to hum a lyric I once learned to hate. Not soon after I started humming, I also started singing it. Me. London Bridge is falling down. Falling down. Falling down. London Bridge is falling down. My fair lady. Detective. Aizawa sight. Detective. This isn't the first time he is doing that, right? Aizawa. How did you guess that? Detective. Your reaction, my dear old friend. Aizawa. No, it's not. My guess is a coping mechanism of some sort. Detective. About the adoption papers, you sure about this? Aizawa. Yes, and why were you so quick to offer me help? Detective. Don't know. Maybe I just know you well enough. And it was about time you take a kid in and not just save them and put them in a good family. Besides, you were talking about him in the station as if he was already your child. Aizawa. Sign no words to Zashi or Nem. Detective. I promise. I knew about all the people my teacher saved and everything. It was true. Even back then, he only took in Shinso, right after the school started, only because he thought that the kid needed more love and also would be better in his hands than his own parents. Needless to say that I was envious and jealous about him getting out of his horrible family and me being trapped forever in one. As I was thinking about that time, I stopped humming and was only petting the cat in my lap. Wrath was purring at this point and enjoying it too. Detective. Aizu. How is your relationship with Yao's mother? The question came out of the blue, and with me still being ostracized by the past life I went through, I answered it without thinking twice or even much about it. Me. I loved her. Detective. Loved as in not anymore. That was Arichi moment I realized my mistake and looked at the back to the detective. I felt emotional since there wasn't anything to fear anymore. If I wanted to, I could play with him and make him regret asking me that question. This was also what I had in mind. For a short while, I was sure that my eyes were not green, but soon changed to that color. AMD stayed like that. Me. I won't see her again. Detective. HM. Me. You guys want to put me away from mommy. Detective. That's not me. I loved her so much, but now she is gone. Detective. Kid, calm down. I didn't mean it like that. I started crying, and Wrath jumped to my shoulder looking at the detective and hissed at him warningly. Aizawa. Izuka, stop it. Miha? Aizawa. I know you were playing with him right now. So stop it. Me. What are you saying, Sob? Aizawa. Kid, your eyes are green, and I know that it's not sadness or pain or anxiety, more happiness. Now stop it. Detective, his eyes? Aizawa. The unique quirk I told you about. Detective. Oh, I totally forgot about that. I was wondering why they looked emotionless. Aizawa. The colors are his emotions. Detective. You know, you could have told me more. Besides, he has a weak quick before. Aizawa. Didn't I? Detective? No, Aizawa. Well, now I did. I had it. It's dangerous staying here with you guests. I have a feeling that you will prag out every bit of information you can get from me. I don't like this. And yes, I am not anxious, Sync. I have you here. I am not mad since I don't get mad easily. Nor am I happy since I need to go back. Emotionless or more like neutral would be the best to describe my mood. But I need a distraction. I knew that it was getting dangerous since Aizawa figured it out. He always was quick to get to these kind of stuff, and it wasn't surprising me at all that he caught on to it. Now, the only thing I could do was basically unstrap the seatbelt, get the cat, and jump out of the car. Why I took the cat, I don't know. But I did anyways. I hugged the cat, opened the door, and jumped out of a moving car. Thankfully, there was no car on my side parked, and I could just jump out and roll myself on the pavement. Okay, now what? I just jumped out of a car. My feet are still injured, and I scraped my cheek as well as my arm while holding a cat. Why did I even take Wrath with me? Wrath, Mew, me. Well, gotta go. I was about to start dashing away, but the problem was that I could hear some screeching behind me, and I couldn't help but look behind me and worry if they got into a car accident or anything like this. Thankfully, Aizawa just stopped the car and didn't crash. However, he jumped out of the car, and then on the roof of it. Me. Is he gonna go after me? Wrath. MEW. Me. You thought so. Aizawa. God damn it, problem child. Never ever did I hear Aizawa scream before. It was the first time, and not only that, but the word problem child made me freeze up. He used to call me like this in the past a lot. I still remembered him calling me like that every time I would end up in the infirmary because of Bakugo. Now thinking about it, I didn't see Bakugo yet. As if on clue, a butterfly came flying into my view. Now I knew that if I ran away, he would have caught me immediately, and since I still was about to act crazy and not predictive or calculative, I deicted to start following and trying to catch the little butterfly. I feel so dumb. Why am I doing this? Why did I even jump out of a good damn car? I really must be crazy. What was I thinking? There were so many things I could have done, and I just jump out of a moving car. A hero inside and a police detective too. Yeah, I must be crazy. The moment I started following the butterfly, the cat jumped on my shoulder and all of a sudden punched at the butterfly. The weird part here was that the cat suddenly had some ice covering its fur, and then I saw IR catching the butterfly with its paw making a ball of ice around it. and freeze it in time. After that, it caught the ball with its fangs, and I kind of stood there with wide eyes before kneeling down to the cat who was proudly putting the ball in my hands. Me. Thank you, Wrath. Aizawa. Problem child. It was the moment I got the ball that Aizawa and the detective came running towards me. Once they arrived, Aizawa went down on his knees and started inspecting me. He held my chin up and then moved my head to look to the side so he could see the scraph better. Aizawa. Saiwai. Me. Look at the butterfly. Detective. HM Shota, you never told me that your cat had a quirk. Aizawa. He doesn't. Not that I know of. Detective. Well, he is covered in ice? Aizawa. Sai. Detective. Looks like you will be busy with him. Aizawa. Tell me something new. Detective. I'll take the cat. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Rathis. Detective. Cold. 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 Aizawa. Sai. The cat immediately bit the detective once he touched his fur, and the bite mark was starting to look more like frostbites. Thankfully, Wrath let the detective go and came to me, while Aizawa picked me up bridal style before going back to the car. Now I had an ice ball with a frozen butterfly and a cat around my neck. Well, I was sure that they wouldn't ask me questions anymore. At least something, right? After the let's just call it incident where I just basically jump out of a car and can consider myself lucky that I didn't die or hit something, we made our way to my home. Though I couldn't really call it home since I dreaded each and every moment before we got there. I hated the place, always have, and always will. There was nothing inside there that was saying that there was a happy, loving family inside. Never ever did I even got love from my mother. If anything, I was doing every possible thing to get attention. That even included staying still and follow orders. Needless to say that I regretted that. When I realized it, it was already too late and there was no turning back anymore. Still, now I had a chance to make a difference, and I was taking it. I wonder if my mother will scream at me when she sees me. Maybe she will even curse me out. Wouldn't that be actually great? That would mean I could stay with Aizawa if he still wants to deal with me after today. Maybe that isn't the best idea either. I mean, I am basically changing the future. I don't know what will happen. All I have is my past memory of my future past. And the most important thing is gathering information in this situation. I don't think I will be able to gather information when I am staying with Aizawa. That means I need to find a different way. Best case scenario is me getting in a nice family. If that happens, and it's a different one than Aizawa's home, I will eat a hat. I am serious. I will do it. I don't care where I will get one, but I will eat it. There is no way that's going to happen with my luck. Then, that only means I need to find another way. Being a villain is out of the question since I don't aim to become one ever again. Even if I decided to not be involved with the LOV, it's still AFO who rules the underworld. He will find me, and then I will be in for one hell of a treat. Nope, that is not even worth thinking about it. I do remember them wanting to recruit Stain. Do I want to try and be his trainee? He has some good moves. His quirk has nothing to do with his speed too. Then his aura, which he can emit. That would be kind of nice to be able to fight in that tempo. I am sure if I train my current body, I will be in my previous skill level at no time. I mean, I did train in my past. I know the path, and I know how it works. It can't be that hard to learn at Agen. I hope at least. Okay, then what about actually being a hero and getting into UA again? Aizawa kid? That doesn't give me a lot of information. Besides the LOV, we'll find a way to get to the information of UA and All Might too. Not to mention who his protege is. Detective. Earth to Aizu? Guess that only leaves me with being a vigilante. It's not that bad if I think about it. If I manage to make Aizawa think I am incapable and also mentally unstable, as well as handicapped, then he won't suspect me of being the one vigilante out in the night. Aizawa. Sai completely lost in his own world. Detective. Hey, you pulled me out of a stack of paper. I am grateful for that. So let's just say we have a lot of time. Leave him be. He will snap out of it sooner or later. Wrath. MEW. Aizawa. Sign problem child. Also, I will be able to keep an eye on UA and the people who didn't judge me like Aizawa. That would be kind of nice if I would prevent their deaths in the future. After all, Aizawa was nearly killed at the USJ incident, and I went against the LOV believes. Aizawa, Izuku, I don't want to deal with a Nomu again. It's a pain in the ass, and they are hella strong. I wonder how I will be able to beat one with just my weak quirk this time. I need to think about this later. Aizawa. Midoriya. I was actually way too lost in thoughts while looking out the window and petting the cat that I didn't even realize when the car stopped or when Aizawa unbuckled the seatbelt. He was even leaning towards me and having a hand on my shoulders. Still, I didn't even felt a thing, nor was I aware of anything. Though the way he called my name brought me back, and I answered like I used to answer in class. Me. Yes, Aizawa-sensei. Aizawa. We arrived. Detective. PFFFF-sensei. Shit, it just slipped out of my mouth. I wonder if he cares. Meow. Aizawa. You called me sensei earlier too. Me. Don't you like it? A great wizard like you should be sensei. Detective. PFFFF. Ha, you are a wizard now. Aizawa. Better than being a knight. Detective. Say. Aizu. What were you thinking so hard about? Me. Do you think magical creatures exist? Detective. No, why? Me, really? No dragons, no fairies, no chimeras? Detective. I don't think so. PFFFF. You do realize that Nizu is literally a chimera, right? Aizawa. You have too much fantasy in your mind. Now let's get out. We all exited the car, and it didn't take long for Aizawa to pick me up again. I couldn't say that I wasn't grateful because my feet hurt with all the cuts. Stepping on Lego was nothing against this pain. Still, I needed to bear with it. Once we got to the door, Aizawa put me down and the detective used the doorbell. My mother opened the door nearly immediately with a fake smile on her face. Now it was my time to act. The moment the door opened, I went for a hug. Me, mommy, Inko. How dare you come back, you damn bastard. With that said, she not only showed me a way, but slapped me so hard that I fell down too. Aizawa was immediately on my side while the detective stepped in front of us protectively. However, I couldn't risk the detective to get on her bad side, since people tend to just disappear if they do. This was why I stood up right after I fell down, kneeled down. Me. I am sorry, Mom. Inko. It's ma'am, you bastard. Detective. Isn't this too much? He's your son. Inko. I am doing with my son what I want. Aizawa. No, not anymore. As I said earlier, I am pro-hero Eraserhead, and this is Detective Sakachi. He is here to inform you about removing your childcare over Izuka here. Now, if you would step back, I would like to take some of his things. Inko, do what you want. The child is useless anyways. Detective. From what I can see, I am putting child neglectance and child abuse on the list too. Inko, whatever. Just take this thing away from me. Huh, that easy? I never thought that my mother would let me go this easy. What is up with her? I was sure she would put up more of a fight to it. Was I that wrong? I went inside with Aizawa at my back holding my shoulder and giving me some mental strength. The cat was hissing at my mother and walking besides me. The whole apartment looked like a batterguild of bottles. You could still see the blood from early this morning how I started walking over the shards too. However, I had the feeling that something was wrong, and I didn't like the feeling at all. Aizawa, take whatever you want. We could buy the rest later. That was all he said to me while standing at the door and leaving me to pack up my things. The first thing I did was looking for my notebooks. I knew where I put them, but they were not there anymore. No. This can't be. Did I misplace them? No matter how hard I searched for them, I couldn't find them. As if that wasn't enough, the bad feeling I had was getting worse. I was even panicking. If they got my notebooks, then that means that they found out how I was faking everything. No wonder that my whole room looked as if a bomb just blew up. It was all trashed around. That was most likely my mother after Aizawa got me away. If I wasn't wrong, then she found them all trashing around, and now they were gone. Aizawa? What are you searching? Inko, maybe you're looking for these. Now stop pretending, bastard. It was only after I heard my mother's voice that I turned around. She was standing there right behind Aizawa with my backpacks filled with the notebooks. Right behind her was the detective. Me. Give them back. Inko, stop pretending already, you fucking bastard. Something about this situation wasn't right. Why would she show me my notebooks in front of a hero and a detective too? It didn't make sense to me since my mother was pretty shrewd and evil too. She might love to see me suffer, but that was only putting her in a difficult situation if she was alone. Why am I having a deja vu feeling? I know this feeling, but from where? It can only be related to the Kirojiri. It's the feeling I developed in my past life. It was the one thing that was always telling me when Kirojiri was about to open a portal. There was this feeling I had. It was a bad one, but I remembered it from my memories. Time and time again, I got surprised, but after a while, my senses sharpened up to a point I could basically tell when Kirojiri was about to open a portal near me, and this very sense was warning me. Shit, it's too late. She will get away with my notebooks. Did she set this up? What was the purpose of it? No way. Did she want to get rid of Aizawa and keep me here? That must be it. I only realized what this familiar sense was when I saw a portal open up behind the detective. Without thinking much to it, I dashed at my mother. I slipped past Aizawa, jumped and grabbed my backpack before we all fell through the portal besides the hero himself. Aizawa Izuku, the Noma labor. So they did wanted to get the hero and make him as a Noma. But at this time, I think every test failed, and the people that got turned into a Noma died just a couple of hours after turning 1. We need to get back, now. Thankfully, Wrath was following me and came through too. Now, the catch was that I knew exactly that there were a couple of seconds between the opening of a portal and the closing of it. Wrath, thanks to me tackling the 2 down, both of them were surprised, but that only lasted for a short while. I grabbed the detective while the cat was actually dealing with my mother, and before we could go back, Aizawa already grabbed the detective with his scarf and threw him through the portal back to the room. I was already up and beside him before we both jumped through it too. Thankfully, the cat soon followed too right before the portal closed. Aizawa, you okay? I wasn't. Not even a bit. I was shaking so much just thinking about what my dear teacher would have aimed as. It wasn't because of fear that I was shaking, but because of how mad I was. Now, there was no stopping it. I would find a way to get them all behind bars and stop their evil doings for sure. Aizawa, problem child, look at me. I couldn't. Not now. I didn't need him to find out that I wasn't afraid. That would be bad for me, and so I decided to fake cry and cling on to the hero for life. First off, I needed the feeling of something warm. I wanted to reassure myself that he was still here and not dead because of me. It took us a couple of minutes until I let go and grabbed Wrath. Me whispering thanks for the safe. Wrath. MEW. Aizawa's POV. Ever after we returned home with some stuff, the kid was avoiding my eyes. He was always looking down carefully that his bangs would cover his eyes. I knew that something was different about this kid. It was the very moment when he whispered my name this early morning. Realistically speaking, no one ever sees me as a hero, and yet the kid knew my name. Not only that, but I was kind of getting the gist behind his quirk. His emotions were easily shown in them as colors. However, there was this one color I couldn't explain, and that was black. From what I knew, red was anxiety. Green was when he is emotionless. Gold was when he was happy. Now I had this situation where I was sure even if it was for a split moment, his eyes were black. It was just right after we got out of the portal when I had him in my arms shaking. At first I thought he was anxious, but his eyes were not red, and he avoided my gaze the whole time. That wasn't normal by any means. Then there was the fact that he just jumped into the portal to go and grab his own school bag. It might have looked childish, but I think there was more to it than meets the eyes. Every move he made this far was not by coincidence. If I was thinking back, he was on the balcony dancing around like a crazy person to get attention. Then there was the moment he jumped out of the car, because we were praying too much into his private life, and now he was the one that jumped to the portal and wasn't afraid of it one bit. What is going on in your head? You were not afraid to jump into the portal at all, but when you saw Tsukauchi, you seemed to be afraid of something for a short while. I would even say you acted like a guilty person, just for a brief moment. Then there is the fact that normally people who gets abused by their parents will shake in fear when they see them and hide. But not you. You charged at your mother fully aware that she would hit you. It might not be obvious, but I saw it. You braced yourself for what was coming. You knew she was gonna hit you. These are all not signs of a crazy person, but a calculative one. But why are you hiding you intelligent? And more importantly, what was in the bag you wanted to get so desperately? We were currently at home, and I had him on the ground playing with the cats right after we came back. It was obvious that he wanted to avoid me, and he was also hugging Wrath as stronger than before. He was definitely shaken by what happened, but from what I could gather, he wasn't shaken by fear or anything like that. Then why was he acting like this? No matter how hard I was thinking about this, it didn't make any sense. I felt it already in the car while we were talking with Tsukauchi. He was about to play with the detective and twist his words. Something told me back then that he was about to make the poor detective cry. It was the feeling of a predator that was playing with its victim. I felt it, and I could see the smile on his face before he was doing it. This kid was definitely not normal at all. Me. Psy kid, I need to call a friend. I want someone to look after your wounds. Izuku, why? Me. You are injured, kid. Izuku. And? Me. You are hurt. Izuku. And? What the? I knew by the look of the state of your home that it must have been a pleasant place. But someone must have looked over you until now. Even if you play dumb and mentally unstable, that doesn't mean that you don't feel pain. Did your mother do more? Is this normal for you? Do you have a high pain tolerance? You must have been through hell. If I knew we would lose your mother, then I would have let her be arrested earlier. Not to mention that you just jumped out of my car while I was driving. It must have hurt jumping off the car like this. You also scratched your face. Chio would kill me if she knew that I was having an injured kid in my house and not call her. My cats will kill me if I don't do something. Just look at how Wrath is having his tail between his legs, avoiding Lucifer. That cat will kill me in my sleep one day, If I only harm you and not protect you, I wouldn't even be able to forgive myself. It's normal common sense for a hero to help out and save a kid in danger and need. Why? Am I even so reeled up? Me. So I just want someone to heal you up. Izuku fairy? Me. You might call her like that. Izuku. A real-life fairy. Did the night lie then? Me HM? Izuku. He said there were no dragons and chimeras. Me. Sai, who knows? I'll go in the kitchen and get some coffee and some hot chocolate for you while giving my fairy friend a call. Can you stay here with the cats? Izuku. Hot chocolate? All of a sudden, I could see the problem child looking up with golden eyes, and I could have sworn that I could see some sparkles in them too. It was surely a unique color and a unique quirk to say the least. Me. Yes, but only if you're a good kid and play with Lucifer. I gave the cat a smirk before leaving the room to the kitchen. Until now, he was sitting there watching over the other cats, but he was such a bastard of a cat. A true Satan, even worse than Nizu, that I felt like getting back at the cat. Though I knew that he wouldn't harm Izuku in any ways just by the way he acted. Not only that, but it wasn't a punishment, but more of a treat for the cat. Once I went to the kitchen, I immediately started to make some coffee, and then I had to look up how to make some hot chocolate. I knew I had everything at home, since Nem liked drinking it when she comes over with Zashi being completely drunk. This was the only reason I had so many sweet things at home like candy, cakes, and other stuff. If Namiri doesn't get her sweets, she transforms into a diva. After looking it up and starting to make 1 cup of hot chocolate, I also thought it would be a good idea to give RG simultaneously a call. That healer immediately picked up too. RG, why in God's name are you calling me in the middle of the day on your day off? Me, what a nice greetings. RG, oh, you expect a greeting after sending Vlad's class into my office yesterday, while you were to just a substitute teacher because he was sick? Me, they need to react faster. They are too slow. RG, that's why you pull a blinding grenade, a smoke bomb, and a small split of grenade on them, while beating each and every up. Me, they have zero potential. RG, it's not your goddamn class. Me, TSK, don't ever ask me to jump in for him then. RG, if you were here, I swear I would have whacked you blue and yellow by now. Me sigh. RG, you dare sigh on the phone after what you done. Me, I won't do it again. RG, you said that last time. Me, last time I used a small grenade and just threw it at them. Be happy I didn't do that this time to measure their speed and reflexes. RG, looks like you never learn. I'll have to teach some sense into you. Me, no, I declined to jump in the first place. You have to go to Nizu. RG, oh, I will. Me, och. While I focused on the phone, I managed to spill some of the hot chocolate on my hand and immediately went to put some warm water on it. RG, what happened? Me, it just spilled some hot chocolate on my hand. RG, okay, who are you? And what did you do to your racer head? Me, I'm still me, and I'm not drinking that stuff. RG, wait. Why are you doing that then? Me, that's why I called to begin with. If you would let me explain now. RG, me, I have an injured kid with me. RG, how old? Me, around 10. RG, how bad is the injury? Me, walked over glass shards. RG, what the hell? Where did you find such a kid? Me, dancing on a balcony railing. RG, you're kidding me. Me, sigh, not at all. He also jumped out of my moving car. Tsukachi was with us. RG, is he insane? Me, no. RG, I'll come over once I am done here. Me, thank you. RG, don't make him walk on his feet, or else you will really get it from me. Me, I didn't plan to. Just like that, the healer hand up on me, and I went to look around the corner since I had a walk-through kitchen. I could still see the kid playing with the cats, and he was in fact having Lucifer in his hands. He looked so cute playing with them. Once I made sure he was still there, I called Nizu. It was somewhat necessary since the kid was playing dumb, and I would rather he be honest with me. Just thinking about what happened made me more determined to adopt him as my own child. It was clear that his mother was a villain to me just by seeing what it looked like through the portal. Then again, if they could make a portal then, that meant that she would certainly not let him go as easily. Me sigh. I had to talk this over with Nizu, especially if I wanted to bring him with me to UA. So I gave the rat Satan a call, and he was quick to answer it too. Nizu, oh my. Due to what pleasure do I own this call? Me, I adopted a kid. Nizu, congratulations on becoming a father. Me, the kid is hiding his intelligence. Nizu, let me guess you want to bring him to UA with you since he is now your son, and also find out why he is hiding his intelligence? Me, close. I want his protection. He is wanted by criminals. Nizu, interesting. Do you know why that is? Me, not yet. So this is why you are calling me. Me, yes. Nizu. I assume he is with you at home. Me, yes. Nizu. Injured from what I heard. Me. Sai, yes. How the fuck did he know that I just called RG? Nizu. You may be asking yourself how I know about this. Me, Sai. Nizu. You see, I have her in my office right now complaining about your actions as standby for Vlad King. Me. Nizu. I will be coming over with her later. Me. I can also just bring him over. Nizu. No. I am intrigued to see your child. Me. Fine then. And just like that, the call ended again. They were just short calls, but I had what I basically wanted. Now I was done and came back to Izuku with a cup of hot chocolate and placed it on the ground right before him. Me. Here, it's still hot. Izuku, thanks. He smiled at me and let go of Lucifer to sit up and have a sip. I couldn't help it but smile at the face he made. He seemed so happy about the hot chocolate, and the cats were actually all acting docile for once, and even let me pet them. This moment was such a nice moment too. Well, you know what? I love sweets. I never got them before. I mean, I did from time to time, but they're so good, and I was never able to afford slacking off getting something sweet. I still remember when my mother used to beat me up every time she saw that I had chocolate with me. Her reason was that I would get fat, and then she told me I wouldn't be as useful anymore. Only later I found out that if she wanted to turn me into a pneumo, it would be best if my sugar level was extremely low, and I don't have a sweet tooth, as only then I would turn out more aggressive. That is what the doctor told me when I asked about them, and giving some input on which quirk would be best to combine. This was also the reason why I knew a great deal about Nomus to begin with. This really is so good. I think I'll be addicted to it. I wonder if I can get some cake. I never had cake before, but I did had some candy. That was the easiest to sneak in AMD hide, but chocolate is on a whole other level. I love this shit. I wonder why. The moment I sipped on the hot chocolate, an idea popped up in my mind. A dangerous one. I didn't like it one bit, but it wasn't that far-fetched of an idea too. Is this maybe just a trap? Is he stalling for something? Did he call Nizu over? Did he find out? He said a fairy would come, which is definitely RG. Who else would do that? Besides UA teacher and colleges. I looked Aizawa while still sipping on my chocolate and enjoy it. Each sip was so good, and I was enjoyed it so much too. However, I could see a smile on his face. That smile made me freeze up for a bit. Lust, Maru? Me no. All mine. Hi. Thankfully, Lust came over to me while I was still laying on the ground and started purring as well as leaning against me, coming closer to my face. Her mew sounded more lustful, but I guess her name was well-deserved because she definitely tried to seduce me to give it to her. Aizawa. Leave him be. Lucifer is. Lust, Mew. Lucifer is. Maru. Lust. Mew. Huh. Why is Lucifer this talkative and angry? No need to pounce over my shoot it and get Lust down submissive. Well, I am thankful a bit cause now I don't have to get her to stop. Though her fur is so fluffy and soft. Still, my hot chocolate is not even good for her, but I did enjoy her purring and her nuzzling. Though what a tactical move. I am sure this is how she gets everything from Aizawa. A snicker escaped my mouth as I was imagining Aizawa with Lust together. He was definitely enjoying this whole situation. He loved cats, and I knew that much. Though this was different. Somewhat this felt like a family. I could only wish for the time to not pass forever. This felt really nice. Aizawa. You like it here? Me, yup. Aizawa. Good cause you staying here. Me. With you? Aizawa, yes. I want to adopt you. Me, why? Aizawa, because. Don't make me kidnap you. Me, HM? Aizawa. Sai, never mind. Me. Can I ask you something? Aizawa. HM? Me. Why are you a hero? Aizawa. Because I have people I cherish and want to protect. Me. So cool. What's your quirk? Aizawa. It's called Erasure. I can nullify other quirks. Me, wow. Use it on me. Use it on me. Use it on me. I jumped up from the ground and went to Aizawa, basically forcing him to use his quirk on me. I was so energetic too. The reason was quite simple. I knew how much he was bullied when he was younger because of his quirk, and people still think it's a bad one. So I wanted to actually be the weird one here and tell him how great it is. Besides that, I knew exactly how his quirk felt like. Aizawa. Kid, you won't like it. Me do it. Please see. I used my best puppy eyes that I could make, and he finally gave in after sighing. All of a sudden, he activated his quirk, and I find it fascinating every time I see it. I still want to know why his hair starts to stand up like that. Me. So cool. Aizawa. My eyes were basically glittering in excitement because now I literally had the golden chance to ask him everything about his quirk. I knew just what I could gather from watching him, but I wanted to know more. It was only a short while, but he released his control over my quirk and looked at me bewildered. Me. Is something wrong? Aizawa. No. Me. Tell me, how do you do that? Aizawa. Do what, problem child? Me. Your hair. Why is it standing up? Aizawa. I don't know. It was at that moment that I made him reuse his quirk many times because I found it rather interesting to watch, and he accepted it. There was this short amount of time between his eyes glowing red and his hair standing up, though both were visible and thus also an indication for his quirk usage. He really should use a man bun, but I wasn't someone to tell him that. It would be weird if I would start brabbling about his fighting style and everything he does wrong. That would be weird, right? However, thankfully, before I was about to start talking and couldn't stop my curiosity, the doorbell rang. Aizawa. I'll be back right now. I wonder who it is. Probably RG. I mean, he basically said he would make a fairy come over. It didn't take long for them to get back, and when I say them, I mean Aizawa, RG, and Nizu. Why the heck is Nizu here? Did he suspect me? Shit, I need to play this one good. How do you fool Somoine with an intelligent quirk? There is no way I can pull this one off, but I can at least try. I mean, at some point, I will need to be a vigilante too. Better start gathering information and make a network soon. Me? The knight lied. He's a liar. I jumped up from where I was laying down on the ground with all the cats and went to Nizu and looked at him with big eyes. I mean, you can't blame a kid from being curious, and I always wanted to pet him. Hey, who wouldn't want to pet him? Nizu, HM, RG. What an energetic kid. Aizawa. Kid, sit on the couch. Me. But I want to pet him. Aizawa, sigh. RG. PFFFF. Nizu. Pet me? Me, yes. You are a chimera. Ivana Petje. Please. Nizu. Aizawa. Oh boy. RG. This is indeed not good. Nizu. You got quite the interesting kid, you know. Me, HM. I tilted my head and looked at them in confusion. Obviously, everything was just an act. I couldn't show them the real me. Besides that, I was really happy to see them. Nizu. Go ahead, little puppy. I will allow you to pet me only this once. Me, why? I went ahead, and despite what I thought his fur was really soft. I always thought it would be like a mouse fur, because he looked more like a mouse, but it was so fluffy, it honestly surprised me. Besides, it was so shiny too. Me, so soft. However, before I knew what was going on, Aizawa picked me up and put me on the couch. All the cats immediately went around me. They looked ready to attack Nizu, RG, and even Aizawa in this room. For some reason, I felt like they were threatening them and protecting me. RG. Aizawa, do something about your demons. Aizawa. Sayazuka, please. Me, MH. Lucifer, can you tell them to stop hissing and go their way? Lucifer. MEW. Just like that, every cat went their way and made some space between them and our guest. Everyone but Lucifer, who was around my neck. He quickly went on the couch and around my neck after I told him to make the other leave. Nizu. Interesting. RG. Let me see your wounds, dearie. Me. Is this the fairy you talk about? RG. Aizawa, what did you teach this kid? Me, started it. RG, sigh. She slowly took the already bloody bandages off before looking at the wound. I knew that she was a woman with a heart of a lion. I mean, she was kind and everything, but you never wanted to piss her off with her cane in her hand. She wasn't defenseless like any granny, but she was pretty strong herself. I saw her once take down All Might because he did something stupid and sent me to fight against Bakugo. RG. Gasp, how did this happen? Aizawa. Want to tell her? Me. I wanted to show mommy how good of a dancer I am. Aizawa. The floor was covered with glass shards. Nizu. Did it hurt? Me, no. Nizu. Did you enjoy it? Me, yes. I think I did well. Nizu. It seems you enjoyed yourself. Me, yes. Nizu. Why do I feel like you want to question me out? This is bad. I felt as if he already knows. I'm sure my smile is perfect. There's no way he saw through it. Nizu. How would you call him? Me, a mage. Nizu. Why so? Me. His cool red eyes and quirk. RG. You used your quirk on him? Aizawa. He begged me for it. RG what? Aizawa. Yep, that was my reaction. Me, is it wrong? Nizu. Quite intriguing indeed. RG. Okay, you got one hell of a weird kid. Aizawa. Tell me something new. Nizu. I have some questions for you. Would you mind answering my curiosity? Me, HM, I don't know. Nizu. How about I let you meet All Might? Me. The #1 hero? Nizu, yes. Me, okay then? URG. I still don't want to. Though it would be weird if I acted different. Everyone in my age loves All Might after all. I have to play Alonji. Still, I don't want to answer. Is there any way out? Shit. What is it that he wants from me? Nizu. Do you like staying here? Me, so many cats. So cute. Cat heaven. Nizu. What about your home? Me, what about it? I tried playing dumb and also hiding my true intelligence. So I thought it would be best to make me sound as ridiculous as I can and hope he wouldn't figure it out. RG, so you like cats? Me, cute and fluffy. The moment I said that, I grabbed Lucifer from my should and hugged him as if he was a plushie. Thankfully, the cat let me do as I pleases, but for some reason I could see Greed coming over where a huge mew. Greed, mew. 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 Me. Come, Greed. I opened my arm while holding Lucifer as to invite Greed over. The cat didn't need another invite and immediately came to me and jumped into my arms, basically. Now I had two cats to hug, and both of them were really fluffy. They were basically very domesticated and nice to me, but from the reaction that I got from RG, I could tell that they were not supposed to act that docile because she was looking at me with wide open eyes and an eyebrow up. Nizu. That is even more intriguing. Me HM? Nizu. Do you know who I am? Me. A chimera. Nizu. Haha, besides that? Me, no. That was such an obvious lie too. How couldn't I know who that in front of me was? I mean, how? I was a UA student in my past life. There was really no way I wouldn't know the infamous and famous Nizu who had so much power and a lot of blackmail material just for that reason? That was impossible. Nizu, do you know what a lie is? Me. Telling something made up? Nizu. Or denying the truth? Me, okay. Nizu. You see, when someone lies, they tend to look to the right or they pursue their lips. In your case, I can tell by the tone of your voice. Can you keep up with me? Me? Not really. Nizu. That is another lie. Zan, I could fool the lie detector that is walking around, but not Nizu. I knew that rat was on another level, but this is a bit much, don't you think? Just cut me some slack. Please. Me. Nizu. Now I am sure you know that I can tell when you try and lie to me. Shall we start out talk now? Me. Nizu. I can see by the glittering in your eyes that you are not dumb. You're trying to calculate and assess the situation right now. However, I would like to know why you are trying to downplay your intelligence. Shit, what do? I am sure I can't fool him. Still, I have to try. If he finds out, it will be a lot harder to get out. Why don't I admit a bit, but not everything? I think that should satisfy this chimera. He sure is one hell of a chimera. Me. Sigh, fine, what do you want? The moment I gave up, I saw Aizawa gasp and look at me with his eyebrow raised before he pinched his nose. Well, not surprising since he surely already knew, and this whole situation could make him some headaches. Nizu. Not much, just a reason. Me. How about getting away from my mother? Nizu, why? Me. Aren't you a curious chimera? Asterisk Izuka's mind brought to you by a bunny spacing out and Stoping petting the cat's asterisk. Me. How about we talk about the fact that you were a lab rat? Nizu. How did me know? I know far more than I should. SCP 455 to 89. Nif. Me. Oh yes. And I also know that you destroyed the SCP Foundation too. Nizu. Me. Now do you still want to question me out? Because the result will be me spilling every information I have about you, and I can be dangerous as well. Woof. What is it that you desire? Me. Nothing but to live. End of Izuka's mind brought to you by a panther and a chimera calling his name over and over again. Aizawa. Izuku. Me. HUH. What? Aizawa. Saw you spaced out. Meow. RG. Are you okay, dearie? Mia, I'm fine. I just have a lot to think about. Nizu. How about I assist you? Me, no thanks. Nizu. That was not an invitation. Me, sigh. Aizawa. Is it about your mother? No, but let's just go with that. I mean, I wanted to basically destroy the rat and make him have a mental breakdown. Good that I was just imagining it and didn't do it at all. It sure would have ended badly for me. I mean, I don't know. Would he have attacked us all? I'm sure he would have done something. Maybe his wild instincts would have gotten triggered. Me, yes. Aizawa. What do you know about her? Me, not much. All I know is that she works for another person's name, though she never did anything wrong or something like this. All she does is providing them with missing people and come up with plans from what I heard off. If you can't escape their attention, then it's best to divide it. Thanks for mentioning my mother. This is brilliant. I know so much about my mother, though she never dirted her hands as of for now. And I will need to get rid of her and everyone else of the LOV. I need them behind bars, but first I need to gather information. It would be best if I could stay here in his home. This way I can just grab his costume and resize it in a week and then go out do some vigilante work. That should work, but I also need to train my body first. I give myself 3 months for it. Nizu. Quite the problem I see. Me HM. RG. Dearie, did she ever hurt you? Me? Abused? No. She never touched me, but she also never cared about me. RG. but I can see a lot of bruises and burns on you. Me. Ahaha, that's there's a different story. Aizawa. Problem child. Me. Nizu. Let me take a wild guess. Quirk discrimination? Me. How do you do that if people think that I don't have one? Nizu. But that is not true now, is it? Aizawa. So there is no need to be scared. Me. They are red again, aren't they? RG, yes. Me. So people don't know that this is my quirk because they were completely red until now and never changed their color. Besides that, I didn't get my quirk when I was 4. Nizu. I see. RG. We will need to change your data then. Me a bit. Aizawa. Who did that to you? Me a friend. Nizu. You don't have to be scared at all, and you also don't have to hide informations. Me. A bully at my school. Nizu. It seems I will need to be talking to the head of the school. Aizawa. Please do that. Nizu. Quirk discrimination is against the law, and I will not stand it. Aizawa. Anything else I have to know about you, kid? Me. No. Aizawa. You don't have to play dumb anymore from now on. Got it. Me okay. The moment I answered Aizawa, I could see Nizu getting a Cheshire Cat smile on his face, and I knew that he figured something more out about me. The only thing I was hiding was that I was far more intelligent and could take them all down if I wanted to, but that was not an option here. I knew so much about everyone, and not only about their quirks. Though it was dangerous to know so much, I did because of my past. Still, Nizu looked as if he figured me out, and that was worrying me. However, if I learned one thing in my life, then it was to suppress my emotions a bit sometimes. It didn't work for the long run, but for this situation it worked just fine, and so my eyes turned green once again. Nizu, you seem to be very interested in Aizawa's quirk here. Is there something you want to tell him? Me. No. Nizu. Or mine. Me. How should I know yours? Nizu. You do know who I am, right? Me. RG. Nizu, stop playing with the child. Look at the cats, and how they started hissing at you. If you continue, they will pounce at you. I am warning you. Nizu. I am sure I can handle some cats. Aizawa. Wrath has an ice quirk. Nizu. Now that is a different story. May I know where you got a cat with a quirk? Aizawa. Picked it up from the street like every other one of my cats here. RG. You sure have a talent for picking up problems. Aizawa. So you mean more work? Did they just say I was a problem and more work? I'm sure I misheard them, right? I mean, yeah, I am, but still. What? How can you say that in front of a kid? Aizawa. Problem child, I didn't mean you with that, but these little bitches. Oh, so he meant the cats. I wonder why he calls them bitches. Weird. Nizu. Anyways, I'm sure you knew who we were the moment you saw us. Me. No. Aizawa. Problem child. You whisper my name when I saved you from the balcony, and that is a question and not an answer you just gave. Me okay. I'm a huge fan about Hirio, so yes, I knew who you guys are. They seemed pleased with my answer, and it was also the last thing I remember before receiving a kiss from RG, who was right beside me. Aizawa was sitting across me with Nizu, but RG just took my hand and gave me a kiss. Now her kisses were energy draining, and I had already my share of adventures for the day, so I was also very exhausted. Combining everything, I was out cold before I could realize what even happened. I don't know how long I sleep, but I did have a good night's sleep. It was really good, but the reason and how I got to sleep so deep was a bit concerning. After all, it was RG who just knocked me out quite literally. Why can't I get used to this? It's not the first time I got knocked out like this. This feeling still doesn't change, and there is no way of getting used to that. The moment I woke up, I was looking at an unfamiliar ceiling. I could tell from all the fluff around me that I was still in Aizawa's house. Otherwise, I should be concerned why there is a cat sitting on my chest and laying there just to look at me. Well, that was gluttony, and the cat was pretty heavy too. What is Aizawa feeding you? You are way too heavy. I think I get your name now. Still, I thought he would at least take care of his cats, if he loves them already. I think I will need to put you on a diet if you insist on greeting me like this every time I wake up. Gluttony Mew. Lucifer Mew? As if he was just there to watch over me and inform their leader Lucifer. Gluttony, get off my chest the moment Lucifer answered from right beside me. That cat was just laying there until he got informed. Thinking about it, I did had something fluffy right next to New York Head, and I could feel it. Just one look to the side, and I was met with white fluff, which meant that lust was there. Me morning, guys. Cat's Mew. Aizawa. Morning, problem child. Me morning. Since when was he in this room? Wait, what room is this even? Aizawa. My bedroom, and no, I can't read mind. Your expression tells me everything. Aizawa. It surprises me every time to see them acting like this only towards you. They really like you, you know? Me. They're cute. Aizawa. If you knew. Me. How long was I asleep? It was a valid question because these cats were now all around me acting as if I just died and came back to life. I had a mewing mess of cats all around me, and Lucifer, who just jumped on my shoulder, making himself a place around my neck and purring as loudly as he could, as well as nuzzling himself against my neck. This situation certainly goes down under cuteness, but a bit concerning. Aizawa, you slept for 3 days. RG reassured me that is normal considering how many burns you had. Okay. Aizawa. Tsukaichi also enhanced the adoption process. You are now my kid. I guess I should call you dad now. Aizawa. Call me whatever you are comfortable with. Inuzuka's mind brought to you by Lucifer acting like an angel already Izuka's neck. Caterpillar. Aizawa, huh? I said caterpillar. Aizawa. Why in the world would you call me that? Because. Aizawa, speak. Just look at you. Aizawa, huh? Do I really have to tell you that you look like a caterpillar in a cocoon? Come on, Mike always calls you like this. Even midnight too. Aizawa. And how do you know that? Well, Aizawa. I am listening. End of Izuka's mind brought to you by a loud mew coming from Lucifer to snap him out of his trance, and then asking for pets. Aizawa. You seem absent-minded again. I was just thinking what to call you. Yeah, let's just downplay this and not call him a caterpillar. Thank God this was just my imagination. I would have been screwed if he was really asking me this. How could I be so careless and let it slip? Aizawa. Take your time. You don't have to call me dad after all. Why do I feel like he wants me to call him dad? But it feels weird. He was my sensei. How can I call him dad now? Okay. Aizawa. You also have your own room. I just didn't want to wake you up while you were sleeping and moving you around. Why is he eyeing the cats? Oh. And I suddenly feel like the cats have something to do with it. Okay. Aizawa. Anyways, I need to go to UA and teach my useless class some stuff. I have Zashi coming over. Who's Zashi? Aizawa. Present Mike. His name is Hizashi Yamada. You can call him whatever, even dumb cockatoo if you want to. Okay. Aizawa. Let's go down and get you something to eat. And you? Aizawa. Kid, I live out of coffee. Whispering as black as your soul. Aizawa. I heard you. I know. Aizawa. How do you even know that I drink it like that and Zashi says this to me always? Shit. And my big mouth. Well, I took a guess. You don't look like the milk coffee or sweet tooth guy. Aizawa. It didn't take long after he said something about breakfast and me getting out of the room. I was still wearing my stuff, and thankfully he didn't change my cloths on his own, or I would be embarrassed. Besides, I must say this house was huge. Never did I actually realize that the small house was this huge. It felt so spacious and empty if not for all the cat toys all around the house. To be honest, it felt more like a cat hotel or a cat-owned house than one of a hero or a human being. It was Turi though. Not long after we left the master bedroom on the second floor, we arrived at the open kitchen in the first floor. It was really funny how all the cats followed us too. Especially Gluttony, since that cat was just rolling down the stairs instead of walking down at all, which made me sniker. Aizawa. You'll get used to it. Once in the kitchen, he made me sit down and quickly prepared some scrambled eggs with bacon and put it down before me. Only after he made sure I had something to eat and drink, he put the cats some food too. They all went to eat. Well, all but Lucifer, who was around my neck and just jumped on the kitchen table right next to me to sit down there and keep an eye out on me. It felt as if he was guarding me, but also eyeing the bacon. You want some? Aizawa. He has his own food. Lucifer. HISSS. Aizawa. Get down the table, you devil. Lucifer. HISSS. Can't he just stay? Aizawa. Lucifer, get down and eat your goddamn food. Stop grabbing my problem child ones. It's okay. There is enough bacon for both of us. Aizawa. Just this once. Lucifer, mew. Okay. It wasn't for long after we started eating that all of a sudden we could hear a loud mewing coming from under the table. Just one look, and you saw one chubby cat around Aizawa's legs asking for more food. We all had finished out food quietly and enjoying it. And then this cat comes after like 5 seconds after she gets her food and then asks for more. Now greed does suit the cat's name pretty good. Still, that didn't stop my new dad from ignoring her and focus on me again. Aizawa. I talked with Nizu and he informed me about your school. Well, I wasn't finished eating yet, but now I was definitely chalking since for me school was another hellhole. I just escaped one and now I'm going straight to the next one. How great my life is. I get out of my mother hand only to get beaten by Bakugo. Well, at least I have Aizawa on my side now. I wonder if I can bring a cat to school. Better not do that. Aizawa, kid. Me cough, I'm good cough. Aizawa. Sure doesn't sound like that. Me, cough, I am really cough fine. More like not, but hey, it's not me who wants to get back to school and see Kakin. That damn angry dandelion for sure is up to no good. Can I just bring Wrath with me or something, please? I am sure that Ice Quirk is gonna come handy. Aizawa. As I was about to say, Niza made sure to clean the school up a bit. Me, define the definition of clean. Aizawa. He made sure no one is going to say anything about awake quirk or quirkless kids ever again. Damn, what did the rat do? I wonder if I asked if he would tell me? Probably not. Well, better get prepared then for the worst. Me? AHM okay. Aizawa. Anyways, I got everything ready, and you will need to start to attend school next week again. Pooh. And here I thought I was going to school today. Wait, didn't he say something about Mike coming over earlier? Huh. Must have slipped my mind. Anyways, I better get out of this house and do some training. I need to get back in from after all. All of a sudden, the doorbell rang, and Aizawa went to greet our guest. I didn't have to know who it was since he already said that he had to go to UA, so this only left Mike to be here, but I couldn't know that he wasn't alone at all. How should I have guessed that, in fact? The moment the two guys came in walking behind Aizawa, I swear I could have chalked again. Not only was Mike there, but Tensei too. It was Ida's older brother and a pro hero too. I knew they were all good friends and everything, but this was pretty surprising even for me. Now the question still reminded, how was I now to get out of this house without anyone noticing? Mike, is that the little listener you adopted show? Aizawa. Say yes. Me. Izuku. Nice to meet you. I gave him a bright smile since I knew that these people were good people. A bit stupid at a time, but still good people. Now if only Tensei knew what Tenya would do in the future, he would have a heart attack for sure. I mean, his brother will go out for revenge. Well, that was what I knew before I was killed. Besides that, I seriously had to stop Stain from trying to kill this guy. The only way to do that was to meet him. I wonder where Stain is in this moment. Maybe I can meet him and make him go against Endeavor? That would be good. This way I could stop Dabi from getting into the LOV and could stop him from going against Tensei, as well as stop Shoto's abuse. Well, that man has more than a screw loose. Me, whispering I wonder how he managed to be a hero in the first place. Me, pardon. I didn't get that. Me oh nothing. I was just thinking to myself. Aizawa. Who? Me who what? Aizawa. Who do you wonder managed to be a hero? Me oh no one. Aizawa kid. Me. AHM really it's nothing. Tensei. Did he really said something like that? Mike. If Sho says so. You know how sharp his hearing is. Aizawa. Kid just spit it out. Me. Endeavor okay? You happy now? Tensei. Wait, why were you thinking about Endeavor all of a sudden? Me. Well, I got Mike, Eraserhead, and Ingenium in a room. Tensei, wow. Mike. You know who we are? Aizawa. So I told him earlier that you will come, but how did you know that he is Ingenium? Me. Who else will come in here beside a fellow hero besides same build, high in voice? Tensei. Sharp little fella. I'm sure my brother would love to meet you. Me. No thank you. I really don't need to meet Tenja. That stiff robot-like guy made my previous life a bit like hell. Always nagging me how unheroic I was, but not Bakugo at all. No, I don't want to befriend him. I also got better things to do. Aizawa. Anyways, kid behave and get the cats to behave too. Me. Gotcha. Mike. Wait, you want us to stay with them in the same room? Aizawa. You will survive. Tensei. Well, not today. We are going out, boy. Me out? Tensei, yes. Mike, yeah. Come on, little listener, give me a yeah. Me. AHM, yeah. Mike, louder. Me, yeah. Mike. Still not energetic enough, but I'll take it. Now Shoo get changed. I looked at Aizawa for help, but all he did was giving me a short smile that I could definitely see because he didn't have his scarf on, and then left me with these two people alone. Now I didn't know what they were up to, but I didn't have a good feeling about this. Still, in the end, I did what they told me and changed into some stuff that Mike brought with him and gave to me. The things suited me, and they were not too big either. Now was my chance. Since I was already alone in Aizawa's room, I took the chance and went through his stuff real quickly. Now guess what this kid found? Shurikens, daggers, knives, and a lot of uniforms. I took a dagger and like 3 shurikens as well as a uniform, then put it right in the small sport bag Mike had given me earlier with all my stuff and went out of the room with the bag. Me. AHM, where do I put the bag with all the other cloths? Mike. You didn't show your room yet? Me no. Mike. Come here, little listener. This is your new room. He just quickly walked down the hallway and opened a random door which was apparently leading to my room. It was a black and yellow painted room, which was pretty cool on its own. There was basically everything from my old room, like all my figures, notebooks, as well as my old school bag, as well as a new one. It was perfect if not for the fact that I couldn't find my own notebooks with the quick look A around. Anyways, I didn't have much time to look. Instead, I just got the time to throw the bag on the ground, and then was immediately dragged out off the room by Tensei. Why do they look so hyped? I don't get it. I don't want to get it. Can't they just leave me be? I don't know, this is way too much. As I was kind of dragged out with each one on both my side, a cat started following me. I knew it because I could see some orange-brownish fur. This was the sign of greed that was walking right next to Mike. It was just a quick glance that I caught about the cat before we went out of the house, and Mike locked the door. I was then placed in a car, and right then and there the cat appeared right next to my side, entering the car before myself. He was looking at me, but didn't say a word, and I knew what the cat was up to. He didn't want them to find out that he was following us, and I didn't have any intention of letting them find out. After all, this might be more fun this way. Oh, greed. I wonder why you were following me this time. Why are you looking at me like that? Wait, I'm sure you just understood me like the other cats. Don't tell me every cat in there has a quirk like wrath. Why didn't I think about this earlier? Normally, cats don't act this humanly. I mean, the way they all acted is different than normal house cats. I should have made the connection earlier. They are far too intelligent. In this case, I am curious to find out what you can do. Thanks for being here with me. This could either be the best field trip or the worst, knowing Mike and his craziness. I mean, no offense, dude, but the last time you decided to teach us at the rooftop of UA because it was too hot in the class. Who the heck does that? Then you were like it was way too windy, and we ended up in the forest part of UA. Dude, I know you hate cockroaches, but it was a freaking forest. What did you expect? Still that unholy scream of his. This girly-like scream. Epic. Well, let's hope there are no bugs where we are going, or this will be embarrassing for him. Now, the only question reminded, where were we going to? So they brought me to a theater, which I found pretty funny since both of them see me as if they were more the cinema type of people than a theater. Besides that, I had no intention of going in there at all. Tensei. So what do you think about our destination? Me? I-A-H-M. Mike. You never been to one, right? Me, no. But why are we here? Mike. To watch a Disney musical, of course. Hell nah. You can't be serious, right? A Disney musical? Do I look like a girl to you that needs some princesses singing? I'm not even going in there. What's wrong with you? Now I know why he is referring to you as a dumb cockatoo. As we arrived at the theater, I had the cat in my arms like a stuffed toy and looked at them. It was only as of now that they realized that there was a cat in my hands. Well, it was a fluffy cat at least, and I kind of adored carrying it all around. Mike, my God, is this show's cat? Me? Greed, yes. Tensei, since when did one of his demon cats come with us? Me. The beginning. Mike, the heck? Why didn't you say anything, little listener? Me. Why should I? Tensei, well, it's a house cat. It can get lost. You wouldn't want that, right? Me. A cat that jumped into a car and follows me around will not get lost that easily. Tensei, but what if? You would be sad, right? I'll leave the cat in the car with a slightly open window for now. Meh. No. Greed. MEW. Tensei. That cat is welcome to stay. Me, huh? Me? No. Greed. MEW. Mike. Oh, what am I saying? Of course the cat can stay. Wait, what? Oh, this cat can manipulate others. What a handy and frightening quirk he has. Me. Are you doing this? I looked down at the cat in my hand. All the cat did was give me a small nod and then a cute little mew. Well, now I knew for sure that this cat had some kind of manipulating or brainwashing quirk. Me. AHM, so anyone want some drinks? I can get us some coffee, tea, or hot chocolate from over there. Mike, we are not allowed to get stuff from somewhere else inside the theater, though. Tensei, better question, how are we going to get the cat inside? Mike, well, we just have to say it is a guardian cat or something. Even emotional support should work. Tensei, you sure about that? Mike, if that doesn't work, I use my hero license card to get us in with the cat. Tensei, I am in. Well, that surely is one heck of a brainwashing he did on them. Just a couple minutes ago, he was against the cat, and now greed is a must-have. LOL. Well, I can't complain about that, but still. No musical for me. I stayed with them for a while until they started arguing who of them was the better hero to show their ID card to get the cat in. Well, it was certainly entertaining listening to them, but I gotta go, fast boy. It was now or never. This is the moment I was waiting for. Now I finally could escape them and that damn musical. Finally, I suddenly started sneaking backwards while erasing my presence, which I still knew how to do because of my previous life, and turn around. In the next second, I was running away with a cat in my hand in a complete random direction too, leaving the heroes behind me. Good luck finding me. As I was running around a corner, I bumped into a person I was least expecting there. Well, now I knew what kind of theater we were going to. It was the one which was close to a kindergarten and a police station. Well, just my luck in running into the one guy I didn't even expect to see again. Detective Sakachi, what the heck are you doing here? How high are the chances of me meeting you like this anyway? Apparently very high. Art, curse my luck. Still why you out on the street? I quickly stood up and helped him stand up too. Then I bowed apologetically and was about to start running again when all of a sudden the detective grabbed my collar and made me stop and turn around. Detective Izuku. Me. Yes, that's my name. Detective. What the hell are you doing here? I didn't want to waste any time. Looking over my shoulder, I saw Tensei sprinting towards me with a present Mike out of breath behind him. Mike, stop that kid. Me HM, well gotta go. Detective, nope. Not on my watch. Me. Hey Greed, how about a helping hand? Greed. MEW. Detective, I gotta stop them following you. How can they chase after an innocent kid like that? Me thanks. Well, I just had to turn around and starting running again, and guess what I saw from looking back? The detective tried to arrest Mike and Tensei. That was until we were rather far away, and he started shaking his head. Guess the brainwashing has a range limit on it. Well, anyways, it's too late now. I turned right, then left, ran down an alley just to turn right again, and I found myself at the back of a park. There was a fence which I just scaled surprisingly easily over, and then just booked it. Once I was in the largest park in the city, I began hiding from the hero and the detective. Now, at first I hid in a spot until I could hear them coming at me again and started moving places very stealthily. Needless to say that the detective joined the search by now. One time I was in a tree and watched them from above searching for me exactly below where I was. The other time I was hiding in a tower located in the kids' playground area, and the heroes were walking past the playground. They spotted me, and Tensei began to come to the site where he saw me last. But by the time he was up, I was already down and laughing my ass off. Sakachi also didn't climb it up. He, however, didn't see me climb the thing down, and once he heard me, he ran to me. But I was gone again. Or it was just Greed mewing as loud as he could. I would like to think it was my ability alone, but in reality, if Greed didn't use his quirk to make them just stop for a while, I would have been found out by now. I had to admit it, the cat loved the game of hide and seek as much as I did. Though I made sure after 3 hours of running and hiding to just sat at a park bench and waited out. Guess what Tensei did? He ran past me while I was sitting there. It was Mike who started complaining about the running and needed a break that found me because he was looking for a place to sit. A weird way to find someone, right? More like scaring the guy who is deadly exhausted. Mik, inale exhale heavily. Me. You really need to do more sport. Me. The moment I started to talk to the tired hero, who didn't realize that I was sitting right beside him, he jumped and looked at me with a dead, panting expression. Mike, the F-U-C-K. Greed hisses. He then turned around and screamed with his quirk activated that he found me, and soon after that the rest came to where we were. Tensei, you are fast. Me. HM thanks. Tensei. Aslo, what are you dong to have this kind of endurance? I just love to run around, or more like run away from Bakugo. But oh well, it's the same thing. Detective. Shota's cats are driving me crazy. That's the second one with a quirk now. Mike, say what? Second, me. Wrath has an ice quirk. Detective. And this one seems to have a mind quirk. Tensei. Brainwashing, you mean? Mike. Anyways, why did you run? Me. Because I sure as hell will not step a foot into a Disney musical. Detective. You wanted to get him into a musical? Tensei, a kid-friendly one. Detective, so you guys are crazy. I'm taking him with me. Mike, why no? Sho entrusted him to me. Detective, he ran away from you and succeeded. So that trust is gone now. I'll inform him that I have him with me. The detective then kind of started ushering me to stand up and follow him, but it was definitely a better choice than staying with these two crazy heroes who thought I was a little child and needed something like that. Well, I mean, I was 10 in real life, but theoretically I was 16 in my mind cause that was the age I died. In the end, Mike was left pouting, and the detective started telling me about his new case, which was a bank robbery, where we were actually going to right now. Though I had a promise that Greed wouldn't use his quirk. Well, only in extreme cases anyways. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you in the next video.